So what's up? I'm Vaughn. Today I just kind of wanted to go over and talk to you guys about Magic Zap and what it is, how you can understand what it does, and then we'll kind of get into how to use it and implement it inside your business. Okay. So essentially, Magic Zap is a pretty cool software that essentially allows you to turn your website into a sales tool again. So Magic Zap really does three distinct features. Okay. So one feature that it does is it allows you to essentially customize your landing page specific to traffic that you're sending. So you could kind of picture that like email marketers do whenever they, send you emails and they say, hey, John, or hey, Mark, or hey, Peter, or hey, whatever your name is. And they send you out email content that's kind of specific to you and they mention your name and stuff. Well, Magic Zap will allow you to do that. It will allow you to essentially make your landing pages dynamic so that you can speak to a specific piece of traffic or a specific genre of traffic. Like, for example, if you're running Facebook ads or something and you're running Facebook ads to different audiences, you could use Magic Zap to customize your landing pages to speak to the specific audiences that you're speaking to. Okay, so that's one of the things Magic Zap does, is it allows you to essentially create dynamic landing pages that talk specifically to the type of traffic that you're sending to the landing page. Another thing that Magic Zap does is help you increase conversions by pre-populating website forms. So what ends up happening is you typically want to ask users for information through your website forms. And typically whenever you're asking a user for more information, you already have some information about that user. So what Magic Zap allows you to do is essentially pre-populate the forms on your website with information that you already know about the user. So how that actually will help you increase conversions is by lowering the friction that somebody has in submitting your opt-in form. For example, if you know somebody's name and email address and you know their business name and all you really want to do is collect their phone number from them, what you could do is, one, you could just ask them for their phone number and you wouldn't really know, okay, whose phone number is this? Or you could ask them for their name and their email address and their phone number, and you can ask them for all 3 points of that data, even though you already have 2 pieces of that data, and your friction for them to give you that data is going to be much higher than if you're just asking for 1 piece of data. So what you can do with Magic Zap is essentially, if you just want that phone number, you could go in and ask them for those 3 pieces of data, their name, their email address, and their phone number, and you can pre-populate their name and their email so that they have a lot less data that they need to give you. Now they only actually have to give you just their phone number because everything else is actually pre-populated in the form for them. And that's actually going to increase the conversions that you get on your website, because when they see that you already have some information about them, they're going to trust you a little bit more. And then when they see that they only have to give you 1 piece of information, it just makes it easier for them to give you that piece of information. So that's another thing that Magic Zap does. And then the most powerful thing that I think Magic Zap really does, and specifically the whole reason that I actually created Magic Zap, is because it allows you to create what's called a feedback loop between some communication channel and your web page where you're sending the user. And it essentially allows you to trigger off custom business processes, custom automations, and business workflows for a specific piece of traffic. So that may be a little bit hard for you to understand, and maybe you're like, what is this guy talking about? Business processes and custom automations. But I can give you a great example of it. Let's just say that you have somebody's phone number. Why? Because they've opted into your high-ticket coaching services. And probably a lot of you guys, if you sell high-ticket coaching services, probably one of the things that you do is, in an opt-in form, you collect a user's phone number, because you know that in order for you to sell your high-ticket coaching program, you typically have to get on a phone call to close the sale. All right? So if you're in that scenario and let's say you've collected somebody's phone number, well, what you could do with Magic Zap is essentially Magic Zap can fire off a custom workflow where whenever that piece of traffic, let's say your lead John Doe that you've got his email and you've got his phone number, let's say now he comes back to your pricing page on your website, well, what you could do with Magic Zap is literally fire off like a sales bridge through text and bulk. So now as soon as that lead lands back on your pricing page and is checking out your prices, you could essentially fire up a custom workflow that would essentially, call you on the phone and let you know John Doe is viewing your website right now. Press 1 to talk to him. You press 1 and you're instantly connected with him. And now you're literally talking to him on the phone while he is literally on your pricing page looking at your coaching service, okay? Another good example is email. I mean, you typically have a lead's email address. So what you can do is you can essentially, set up a custom workflow where whenever that lead goes to one of your web pages or one of your funnels, as soon as he hits your funnel, you can send him out an email and let him know, hey, I see you're checking out my website. If there's anything that I can do for you, just give me a call or something like that. You could do it with text messages. You can do it in your messenger chatbot, which is what I use it a lot for my messenger chatbot. So hopefully that kind of gives you an understanding of what MagicZap is able to do and what MagicZap can actually do for your business. I'm sure you're a little bit confused still, which is why we're going to move forward in this training session. And I'm going to go in and actually show you how to do all these different things after I explain a little bit of technical information. So hopefully everybody's clear and you can kind of understand the 3 distinct things that MagicZap can do for you. It can essentially allow you to personalize your website, so you can create dynamic landing pages that speak directly to the piece of traffic or the target audience that you're driving to your web page. It can pre-populate website forms for you so that your users don't have to fill out redundant data over and over again, which is going to increase conversions. And then it can trigger custom business automations, custom business processes, and custom automations for specific pieces of traffic that visit your website. And I give you a few examples of those. All right, so now you know exactly what MagicZap can do for you.